Hello, my name is Beth Sikma, and this class is 541, week 2. And the question is Wilmington, Delaware a good community? In 2019, the population of Wilmington, Delaware was 70,166, which is a decrease from the number of residents in 2000. The population by race shows that it's primarily 52.8% of Black communities, with 28.7% white residents in the communities, and the third largest population is 10.6% Hispanic. Population by age shows that 65% of the population is between 18 to 64. And the median Wilmington resident age is 36.5 years. Residents living in poverty in 2019 is 29.8% of the Wilmington residents. We can see that the largest population showing living in poverty is the 66.7% of the Native Hawaiian and Pacific Islander residents, as well as 60.1% Indigenous American residents. And other race residents at 34.7%. The population density is 6,468 people per square mile, and it is considered high. Okay. Also, the median household income in 2019 was $47,722, which increased 26.4% from 2000. However, the median household income for the state was $70,176 in 2019, which is a stark difference between the two. The level of education of Wilmington residents shows that a large portion of the residents do get a high school diploma or higher. However, it does diminish distinctly between bachelor's degree and graduate or professional degree. Religious adherence actually has gone down. 2010, 54% did not adhere to any religious affiliation. And the next highest religious affiliation is Catholic with 26%. Occupations in Delaware range from building and grounds, cleaning and maintenance occupations, to health technologies and technicians at 2.4%. If you look at the percentage of occupations of the residents and compare it to the industry of finance and insurance being number one at 13.1%, you can see that a lot of the people working in Wilmington are actually not those who live in the city. So continued health and nutrition for quality of life. The average BMI in Wilmington is 29.4. Statewide is a little bit less at 28.8. However, Wilmington residents do not feel as bad about themselves as the statewide, with 19% of the population stating they feel bad about themselves, and statewide 20.8%. The obesity rate in Newcastle County is 26.7. Statewide is actually higher with 27.9. And adult diabetes is a little bit lower in Newcastle County at 8% and statewide at 9%. Now, for those of you who enjoy history and the different attractions of, especially the beginning of the growth of the United States, there is a lot of history in Delaware. What is interesting about it is a lot of the history and historic sites end up really they're located in the center of the poor areas where they really serve no benefit to the community in terms of enriching the immediate needs of the community that lives there. However, there are beautiful art museums and natural beauty that can be seen at the riverfront and on the Greenway. Wilmington is a nice place to visit, even a nice place to live, but others do not have the same experience, depending upon what they value. For quality of life, also, the level of crime in Wilmington as compared to other US cities. Wilmington is actually 98.2% of the US cities. It's higher than 98.2% of the other US cities. It's also, crime has also been much higher than the statewide numbers. And crime has actually gone down in the last 4 years, but is still markedly higher than the overall United States numbers and the state of Delaware. This is a map of Delaware and Wilmington. And to explore further, is Wilmington a good community? The first area is safety. And with murder and homicide rates of 32.32 per 1,000 people and violent crime at 1,544.47 per 1,000 people, Wilmington is not a city in which one can feel safe in certain areas. Crime rates have actually gone down in the city, but they are far from the statewide statistics or even from that of the United States. Goods and services, they are available to those who have access to transportation. Public transportation is available and fairly reliable. Paratransit is also available to residents who need it. However, there are many instances where paratransit does fall short of the reliability of regular public transportation. Relationships that bind citizens together. Well, individuals in all communities develop some level of connection with their neighbors. Residents from poor neighborhoods tend to spend more time socializing with their neighbors. Residents are invited to join in celebrations of the various ethnic and LGBTQIA communities. Commonality of values and goals. Wilmington residents are far more fragmented in their priorities and sense of purpose. From the professionals who move here for employment and better tax rates to the native residents who are more closely defined by their heritage and peer community. Whole person principle. Residents in Wilmington may have a sense of being seen and heard in their family unit and in their peer community. However, many communities need additional support from outside sources to develop this level of belonging to a higher level. Predictability. For good or for bad, most day-to-day relationships are highly predictable. A place within the social structure and opportunities. Many communities in Wilmington have not developed in a manner that reaches out to embrace social structure. There is a juxtaposition between rich and poor, working and unemployed, black and white. And homogeneity. Every community has their own homogeneity, from the residents who work at financial institutions and the blue collar areas to the impoverished neighborhoods. And let us not forget that the many homeless, the large homeless population that we do have in Wilmington often have their own groups where they feel comfortable and places where they go. So is Wilmington a good community? To answer this question depends on where you live, how much money you make and what you value, and how much your family, faith, and culture has enriched your life. As someone who has lived in and around Wilmington for much of my life, I would say that it may not be the best community in the United States, but I love it. There are so many wonderful people who live here. I know there is a lot of room for improvement and a lot of problems. I hope to be a part of the solution. I work for the Division of Substance Abuse and Mental Health. My job touches upon aspects related to everything from homelessness, substance abuse, the prison system, community integration, and family support. There are many programs available to the residents of Wilmington. Some of the programs need to be improved, and some are making headway in neighborhoods that need more community. I myself do feel pride in being a resident of Wilmington. Thank you very much.